to go?
Yep.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. After a slight technical difficulty, call this work session to order at 6:01. Can I get a roll call?
Michael Cashman.
Present.
Thomas Wood.
Here.
Barbara Hebert.
Here.
Charles Costick.
Here.
Dana Isabella.
Here.
James Coffey is absent, and I, Katie Bellucci, am present.
Perfect. Is there anyone seeking to provide public comment this evening? Advancing forward, just a couple little things. I will start with the traffic light on Ruger and Ampersand. Tomorrow it gets energized. So it's been, unless something really out of the norm occurs, it will be energized tomorrow, which is great. It's been a long time coming. And just a little shout out as part of a public-private process to begin with is U First Credit Union a number of years ago helped us do that initial traffic study. And it's been something that we've really been nurturing along. The supply chain management was really the thing that hampered it, but glad to get it up and moving forward. So tomorrow, previously it would be complaints that there wasn't a traffic light. Now we'll enter a new phase of the complaints that there is a traffic light. So, but I say that a little joking, but I say it though that there were safety concerns there, and it's a good thing. I mean, that's what the traffic study denoted. It's a good thing to be there, and all in all.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to share with you is this morning I had the fortune to represent the town of Plattsburgh at a really unique event. Today, the town of Plattsburgh was the municipal host to the FISU World University Winter Games torch relay. It was the only place occurring in Clinton County, and it was over at Nova Bus. And what is unique is the electric bus that they have created at Nova Bus is going to be used as part of the busing fleet down at that games. And why it is so special is not only is it a product made here in town of Plattsburgh, County, the entire games have an overlay of sustainability. And this is the first time that the torch does not have a combustible, meaning that they did something different, and that the cauldron at the games, it will be the first time that it's not a combustible. So to have kind of this bus as part of this larger, and they have a campaign called Save Winter, and I just think it's neat. And as the town of Plattsburgh is the first clean energy community designated by, NYSERDA, it just fits really well. And they presented us just a small little tribute to identify the day that the torch relay was here in town. And it's the second time that Lake Placid will have hosted these games. And it is, in short, I know I'm truncating it a little bit, but the level of these games is second to the Olympics in the size and scale and scope, with the amount of athletic teams and athletes and types and styles of competitions. So strongly encourage people, if you have the opportunity, come January when the games are in town, take advantage of it. There's a lot of benefit there. So just wanted to share that with you. It's kind of neat. So, in tonight's meetings, you have a variety of draft materials, minutes, request for the track lists, MT6 from the Highway Department. There is an RFP as it relates to legal services.
No, we have an RFP for things that are happening in the planning department before, right?
Correct. Yes.
Is this really, would we
this is as it relates to specifically legal services. The other one is for engineering services. Yep. And then you have change order, you have the well-made water system pressure tank, then you have a variety of reappointments, one for the Water Advisory Committee, Recreation, program contract of services. Let me just pull that one up and talk to that one for a moment. So one of the programs that we have done over the years is the recreation program as it relates to a contract for services for bowling. The way that these have been restructured over the years is it identifies the recommendation for the recreation director and the dean, Beth Kristen, and it is $400 stipend, basically, and that they need to fill out a W-9, okay? And then the accompanying materials with the bowling alley if necessary. Then there are a reappointment for Parks and Recreation, and Chuck, noting what I told you earlier, this was what's been going on in my office. We'll make that adjustment for next week. For the Water Advisory Committee, the title change.
Yeah, just the one title.
Yeah, and then reappointments for Park and Recreation, and then the last one will be reflected as a reappointment for Herb Carpenter and Kayla Ford. So that is all the materials in draft. Is there anyone seeking to provide a committee report tonight?
You, for the one for the bowling.
Yep.
Contract
Yep.
services, I think it could be rewritten in an understandable way.
That was the new format that we started to use last year, Tom, so it's easier and more direct for when it comes to the finance department to just be able to identify who's getting what and where it's coming from, because the direction is, it's the W-9 that needs to be actionable, who it is and what the amount is to the time period of time.
So it doesn't matter that we approve the person or the,
What do you mean?
well, it goes right from get a W-9 now, and therefore we resolve that the supervisor is authorized to sign. Usually we say, you know, that authorized to, that Beth Kristen be hired as a contract.
Yeah, but they're not hired as a full-time employee. It's not a long-term employee. That's why
I know.
they're getting a W-9. So this one is slightly different than the other appointments, like, you know, some of the people that we've recently hired in the codes department and stuff like that. We tried to simplify some of this with the finance department, so.
Yeah, it models similar to close to the one where, you know, a lot, like in the
Yeah,
summertime.
so
and stuff
if
like
we're,
that.
during the summer, you know, if there's been various things for summer camps and stuff like that, one resolution can collect all of it, so it's part of the programmatic package versus individual resolutions and stuff like that. They can always be pulled out individually if someone has a conflict or there's a concern on something, but this has been able to streamline that process.
And then we have the wastewater rate and.
That, yeah, actually, I
And the
noted
water rate
that, that's, the rate is per the
Yep.
capital plan.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
That follows
that's
right
also
along with the capital plan, that was the one that was planned in
Yep.
for, 2023. The one thing I will mention with that too, while you're on that part, is that the pump that's on there, that's for that stretch at 374 from Church Road, Katyville up. They've been in search of a
Oh,
replacement
yes.
pump
Yeah.
there, so the water pushes up there okay. There are a couple
Yes.
of fire hydrants up there that are not usable, because this is an on-demand pump, so when water flows, this pump would come on, and they've had a tough time finding a replacement, but that is what that one's for.
And Dana and I went on the ride along, which is very helpful. I think that's some of the
Right.
items that we discussed, yeah. Okay.
And anything else? Anybody seeking to provide committee report? Otherwise, I do.
Well, no, I just wanted to give a lighting project. I don't know if you had an opportunity to see the message from Nate. As of Friday, 630 have been replaced. There's 181 remaining for this round. The second round, they'll break down, you know, for the winter for the most part, and then once the weather breaks, kick back up. That would be an additional 532. Those are on site. So those are ready to go as soon as they get back at it. The only thing that they don't have ready at the moment for replacement of the decoratives, that would be in Thomasell Park.
Are they doing it in two stages where they go back and then hook them up? They put the lights in, but then they hook them up later?
It depends on what various aspects are going on with the light fixture. So there's a slew of different needs for different lights and stuff like that, and, so the simple answer is yes and no, depending on the light.
So they're being
Depending
directed,
on where they
Yeah,
are. Yeah.
they're
being
pro-
directed down the way they're supposed to be?
They're professional linemen that have been meeting the objectives of both safety standards and hook up the way that they've been doing it.
And for the equipment that's been being taken on, well, when they replace it with the hookup, is that going to salvage?
Well, there's different pieces, some yes, but there's other pieces too that they have special containers where it has to be handled as basically as a hazardous material.
Correct.
But